What's up, y'all? It's Saturday with Mikesha, and of course, I'm your host. I go by the name of Keisha Love, and I get the pleasure of sitting here with former state representative Charles Booker, and we're going to get a little bit into politics, his organization from Hood to the Holler. But I did want to, before we get into that, I did want to go ahead and congratulate you on your past award that you still have not gotten yet. So,
It's not too late.
he actually won Political Influence of the Year. And you did not hear about it, and you still need to pick up your trophy. And this was from the past. This was not the awards for this year, but I do want to congratulate you, and you still have to pick that up.
Yeah,
So,
well, I'm excited to finally get it.
congratulations.
I'm even more humbled to have been recognized for just trying to do my part
Yeah,
and to be honored for excellence and leadership
about the people.
and just thinking about the Boba Awards, just the whole purpose to celebrate us, to lift us up.
Yeah.
So I'm honored and I appreciate you for doing this work and continue to press forward. And I'm excited for the new date. I know it's gonna be big. I'm gonna be there. I'm having my suit on,
Yes.
and we're gonna celebrate what we built.
Yes. And I'm so excited for that day. It is May 24th, Saturday, of course. And of course, it's at the Center for African American Heritage. And I just appreciate everybody's patience as we move on with this new date. And I wish that we could go ahead and let every single nominee know they're nominated because a lot of people didn't know that they were nominated just like you didn't from previous years.
Hmm.
So we have 873 nominees this year.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
it's
very dope.
always huge like that, and that's not even everyone nominated. That's just where we cut off. Some people just have their first name or like a nickname, or some things you can't read or stuff like that. But yeah, 873 were actually nominated this year. So it's hard letting everybody know
Yeah,
about it.
that's a
So
good problem to have, though.
it is. So I think we're gonna have everyone put in contact information for next year. Add that in to make the job a little easier.
Yeah,
So we got another month to let more people know. And yeah. So thank you for being excited.
I mean, we got to find stuff to be excited about nowadays. It's a lot going on in this world, so we got to fight for justice. We got to keep doing that work, but we got to love each other and celebrate at the
Yeah.
same time. So
Yeah, so that's why the Bubble Wars was started, just to celebrate us once a year, get us all together, and it's taken every year isn't perfect, but I we never knew it would be as big as it was. It's always been huge. It started
yeah,
off huge, and it's really big. A team is important, is what I've learned. And if something were to ever happen to me, I don't know if anybody knew, but I was in a car accident not too long ago, and I just recovered this past
man,
week. And I have people helping. People, there's people part of the Bubble Wars team, but what I learned is you have to have a plan because I couldn't even talk. I couldn't really think. I couldn't do anything. And so
yeah.
you have to have a plan um, to, for other people to already know in case something happens to the founder. So that's what I learned. So I appreciate everybody's patience. Nonetheless, we got
Oh,
that out the way. Make sure you go to
mm,
bobeawards.com for more information. That's BOBEawards.com.
yes, yes,
And
yes.
please email us at info@bobeawards.com if you have any concerns, if any inconvenience. Please let us know so we can make sure that we try to satisfy you as much as possible. Whew, it's a hard day.
Yeah, I know it is, but the whole community's behind you. We're proud of you, and look, we all know that we're building as we go,
Hmm.
and we face setbacks, and we get back up, and we make it better. So, um, Louisville has a lot to be proud of, even though we have a lot to be very pissed off about.
Hmm.
And so, like I said, it's important that we recognize that we celebrate our excellence, even in the tough times. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm saluting this queen here, and I know you all are too. So,
Yes, Lord Jesus. And everybody that helped out with the awards, thank you all too as well. And everybody that nominates and votes and just participates and shares. So yes. Off of that, on to
all
you.
right.
I just wanted
So
to let's
this
get
has been
that
a
out the
long
way,
time
y'all.
coming. We've been trying to do this interview.
I know I've missed all the big moments. Like I feel like I've missed all the big moments.
Oh, there's more to come.
Yes, there is more to
Uh huh.
come. So this is just a little sneak peek what we're doing right now. But I know what. So let's get into it. Former state representative, how was that? Like, I know you're from the West End.
Hmm.
I know, I even know that you, I think there was, you had a large amount of family members pass away. Was that by gun violence?
Yeah, I've
Like,
lost, I've
not that
lost,
in a short period of time.
I've lost since 2016
Yeah.
7 of my
Oh,
cousins. I come from a really big family. It's a whole lot of us. I'm one of over 70 grandkids on my mom's side, and it's a lot of us on my dad's side. And so,
70 grandkids.
yeah, yeah, we got a small city, all us from the West End, and I'm still holding my childhood block down, 35th Market, where
I
we
know
from.
that's right. Y'all better know who each other are.
Yeah, yeah,
Know y'all kids and stuff, so
yeah.
y'all don't be around just
If you
not knowing
watching
y'all
this, you probably
family.
know some of my people. If you aren't formally blood related, we all family anyway. But
Okay, okay, okay.
yeah.
And so, well, unfortunately, that has happened, but that's probably what made you care so much about the community even more and start hood
Yeah,
to the holler.
yeah, it's definitely a big part of my why.
Hmm.
Just the pain that I carry with me. I got a dog tag of my cousin in my pocket now that was murdered on Easter Sunday in 2016, TJ. And just thinking about what happened, not only to him, but to the person who pulled the trigger, what we see in our community, just all the struggles I've grown up in, I want to do something about it. And just trying to find ways to make a difference. I sort of stumbled my way into politics. Never thought I'd be doing anything remotely political. I just wanted to try to make things better for my family and take care of my mom. And um, once I realized that there are policies that impact our lives and there are people who make decisions for us who don't always look like us or see our humanity, I
Hmm.
knew I had to get in there. And Hood to the Holler was really just a testament to people all over Kentucky and all over the country and the world who feel the same way. Regular people who want things to change.
Now let's talk about hood to the holler. So, what is it? What are we doing? How can we help?
Yeah. So first of all, you know what a holler is, right?
I mean,
I mean, it's okay if you say no.
okay.
I love being able to answer that question because I didn't know what a holler was.
Oh, I know, but
Okay,
it can't be the same thing.
yeah. So I was a director of fish and wildlife, and yeah, young black guy from the hood, director of fish and wildlife, going all over the Commonwealth, and
Not the wildlife.
yeah,
You go
yeah.
there with the lions, tigers, and bears.
Well, look, and I told them when I was brought on, like when we hear gunshots, it's not for elk, So I'm in a whole new world, and because my law background and my policy background, I was there over a personnel HR and
Mm-hmm.
helping them put their handbook in place, do their EEOC trainings, all those different types of things for the state. And it took me into communities that I had never been in before, and so a holler for a lot of folks who live in Appalachia in particular. It's pretty much like a neighborhood. It's in between the hills. It's often said that like there's one way in, one way out, and you can holler from the front and
Oh,
talk to the folks
like
in
a
the back.
shotgun house,
Yeah, except it's like an extended block, like a
but a block.
neighborhood. Uh,
Oh,
and
okay.
and the thing that really opened my eyes to it is the scenery is beautiful. It's in the hills, it's in the mountains.
Mhm.
But in between there, in these quiet, isolated places, are people that are struggling, regular people, and it looked a lot like my own neighborhood. Were homes that, were
Not taken
abandoned or,
care of.
people having a hard time to take care of and keep up a home or find a good job. People struggling to survive, but they're dedicated, loving, hardworking people. And although they didn't look like me, when I'm talking to these folks out in the state, I'm like, man, we connected. We share stories. You got an uncle that does a lot of the same things my uncle do. Things like that. And I started realizing that this connection is a powerful chance for us to build together.
Mm-hmm.
And so Hood to the Holler is just a rallying cry for that. Urban, rural, all over, black, white, brown,
Okay.
no matter your pronoun, your identity, we're all connected. And if people from the most forgotten places, because a lot of people out in the state, when they think about Louisville, there's this dichotomy of Louisville versus the rest of the state.
Yeah.
But when they talk about Louisville, they don't typically talk about the hood. They don't typically see us. And a lot of people out in the state feel invisible to the people in power, just like we have. And it gives us a chance to do something together. If we all feel that pain, and you saw it in 2020, when people were marching in the streets, it wasn't just us. It was people all from all
It was.
backgrounds who felt connected, and we got to remember that. And I'm seeing more people come back out in the wake of the crazy times we're in now, um, and we got to build. We got to do something with it. We got to leverage political power. We need to agitate, but we also got to put a vision forward, which is why I put love on you because a lot of the people in this city who are still dreaming big and putting visions forward for a better future, and we got to find ways to do that together.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I said. To start it off, we need a team. We need to come together
Yeah,
and
yeah,
just come together, you guys. Yeah, because I heard you mention in a past interview that a lot of the issues that we go through in West Louisville, those are same issues that are in other areas too, and I guess that makes sense of Hood to the Holler now. But
yeah,
I didn't know that was the reason of it. Okay,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
but and so um, what are we doing with it now?
So, so beyond just being a rallying cry,
Hmm.
I founded an organization called Hood to the Holler,
Hmm.
which is really it's an umbrella organization that is focused on
Mm.
helping people build capacity to be leaders in their community, to be citizen lobbyists, to run for office, to organize for issues they
Okay.
care about. But the underlying power behind it is helping people see their connections to one another and the storytelling of how we're all connected. So that when we're fighting for an issue we care about, we don't have to fight alone. We may not always see each other. So I'm a type 1 diabetic, and I often tell that story about, working in the legislature and passing legislation with like someone who is a hardcore Republican, whatever your party is, I love you. This guy was a hardcore Republican, big Trump supporter. We disagreed on a lot of things, but he was also a type 1 diabetic.
Mm.
And we found this common bond, and we were able to use this connection to something that cut through the politics to pass a bill together.
Wow.
And so I'm taking the power of that and really just equipping a lot of regular people who have been ignored and been marginalized. Say, look, not only can we change things at the local, state, and federal level, we can build coalitions to do it too.
Mm. Okay. And so when you were in school, what did you want to be? I know you didn't see yourself as a politician.
No, not at all.
So what were you thinking, Charles?
Well, I wanted to be a
A
lawyer.
rapper.
I mean, I got that in me too. I
I knew
got
it.
that
I
in
felt
me.
it.
Yeah,
It's in there
it's
somewhere.
in there. The cadence is
We
there.
about to go ahead and start the beat, so you can go
I
ahead.
mean,
Okay.
like don't put me in a box. Is all I'm trying to tell y'all. Ask Bella Ray, I did on the radio. But no, I wanted to be a lawyer since I was like
Okay.
9 years old. I wanted to be a lawyer.
That makes sense
Yeah, I
now.
wanted to. I always have. I've had this spirit about me of wanting to fight for people,
Yeah, I was about to say make
and
change.
yeah, and like look out for people who don't have a voice or are not being listened to. That's been me. So it makes sense that I do what I do now because that's been a part of my makeup. And after graduating law school, I was going down the route to, just be an attorney
Uh-huh.
and be a contributing citizen, and it just wasn't.
It didn't feel
Yeah,
right.
it just wasn't hitting. That light in my spirit just wasn't there. And what I realized is, if I'm arguing laws that are
Uh-huh. You're not changing
yeah,
them.
that are unjust or have inequities in them, am I actually having the impact I want to have? So I determined I want to make the laws, not argue them. And here I am, working in the governor's office, I work in Metro Council, work for members of Congress, state legislature, all of these lenses of how laws and the budgetary decisions impact our lives.
Now, is it in that order?
No, not quite. Sort of. I worked in the mayor's office too. And I've ran a lot of campaigns, and of course, I ran for U.S. Senate. So I have really touched
Hmm.
politics from every angle, trying to
You
see
you skip
how we.
so so you just skip all the small. You just go so big.
Yeah, it's
Now
so
what?
it's so much. Well, that's why. Look, so I wrote a book about it, called "From the Hood to the House,"
Hmm.
because it's such a huge testimony. Because a lot of rooms I'm in, even now, I got grays in my beard now, but still, a lot of rooms I'm in,
You're still the
I'm
youngest
I'm the
person.
youngest person, and I'm definitely the only one from the hood,
Oh, I definitely feel like a
and so
child when I'm in some.
it blows me away to even read my resume. That
Mm.
ain't nothing but God. I mean, but yeah, so read the book if you haven't. There's a documentary called "From the Hood to the Holler." Award winning, won 8 film festivals. It won the Louisville Film Festival. A lot of people don't even know that.
Look
Um,
at you.
yeah, yeah. So I've been trying to put that story out there, and I'm just following my heart.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I ran for office. I've been in office. People ask me all the time, "Are you gonna run again? And what are you
Mm-hmm.
doing?" And my thing is constant. I'm going to do my part.
Okay.
I know that I have a message. God has given me a vision. I have a conviction. I know my why. I
Mm-hmm.
have I have perspective and experience that we need in our community, and I'm going to use what I have to help. And whether that means I'm on a ballot or not, y'all gonna see me. You gonna feel me,
Y'all gonna
cause
see
I
me doing something.
yeah, just like you, I care about this city. It's my home. Kentucky is my home. All my people are from here, and as long as I wake up here, I'm gonna do something to try to make it better.
Mm-hmm. I feel you on that. Even if I decide to move out, move away, or whatever I do, that's why I started the Underground News
Hmm.
because it'll stay running. It'll stay. You'll still find some positive Black news every week, digital, print, theundergroundnews.com. I'm just
There you
saying,
go.
so that I can
Plug
always
that.
keep doing something.
Yep.
I want to make sure that we're still doing something in the city, no matter where I am, if I go anywhere. So we're gonna keep that momentum going. And it's funny you said you want to be a lawyer. So I wanted to be a lawyer. I feel like a lot of people want to be a lawyer. Let's argue. Let's
Yeah, yeah,
win some
yeah.
stuff. Let's make stuff right. So I didn't go that far. I worked at a law office. I wanted to get into, just get into the work, just to see, just to feel. So I worked at a law office as a receptionist. Then I worked at UFF Law School for a hot second. Fought so hard for that job. And when I got to both of them, I did not. It was so boring to me. And I
Mm,
felt the way you felt. Like this isn't it. I really care about the community. Like what can I do? So it makes sense for
yeah.
me what I'm doing now too. So
Yeah, and in respect to all the attorneys out there who take the job serious and fight for people who are not heard,
oh,
but
a
we
lot of
all,
fighting.
yeah, and we need people who can go in to the courtroom and sit on the bench that see our humanity,
Hmm.
that will fight for us and make sure the laws apply and lift up our identities and our needs and our
Yeah.
challenges and not just demonize us. But um, once I realized my purpose.
Yeah, it has to be for you. For
Yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. If you could sit there and argue all day and win, I know it must be
yeah,
good feeling so good to win a
yeah.
case.
Oh yeah, and look,
Boy,
I still use that
it's gonna
that
take a
law
long
background
time,
now. I'm a preacher's kid too,
hmm
so I do a lot of preaching in that capital. Yeah, we got
yeah.
got to get them folks together somehow.
You do. You do get the folks together. So, where do you see yourself? And like, what do you see for yourself in the future? I wouldn't say like 5 years, but let's not even put a number. Like, what are your? Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, what a question. I see myself better than I am now.
Yeah, tomorrow is definitely
Yeah,
gonna be better than today.
yeah, every day. And I definitely see myself in a position and in positions that that help to change the system. That's where I gravitate, and that's why I ultimately ended up um, running for office, serving as well. I want to be in the positions that help change the system more directly. There are a lot of folks that do person to person. There are a lot of organizations that address issues that are downstream that are critical.
Mm.
But we also need people who will go further upstream and impact the system overall.
Okay,
Um,
further upstream.
yeah, we got to be in every space.
Yeah, we
We
do.
got to cover all the bases.
We
So
really need to go to the ones that don't have a lot of us there. So I feel like that's what you do. You go into
yeah,
a lot of those
yeah,
areas that need a little sprinkle.
yeah,
So
yeah, or a lot more than a sprinkle.
yeah,
But I'll be doing that type of work, and I people ask me, am I gonna run again? I still got my running shoes.
I definitely feel like you're
I
running
ain't
again for
I ain't
sure.
hung them
It's
up,
just it's more of when
and
and where and
truthfully,
what.
knowing what I know, and anybody that's done it, has served and has really served for the people, you never stop running.
Mhm.
Like everything I do, I'm doing it toward these goals that led me to want to be in elected office to begin with. So I can see serving in elected capacity again one day, but also building up Hood to the Holler, and the brand of Hood to the Holler is really like regionally focused because a lot of communities don't connect to hollers. I mean, there's
I
in
hate
Appalachia, like I said, a lot of our states in this region connect to it. And of course, I connect to the hood part of it, But at the same time, the story is something the country needs because it's really just about bringing people together across divide. So we need that on the national level. We need to do that everywhere, and I'm gonna be a part of that somehow.
Hmm. What is a moment in your political career that stood out the most for you?
Oh man, it's a lot of them. One that I'll mention, especially with Maxwell being behind the camera. Salute to my brother
Maxwell.
Maxwell. No, he's holding the camera. You can't see him, but he's always there.
He is always there. He
Yeah,
is always everywhere.
yeah.
Like, yo,
And look, y'all tell the
talk
story.
about passion.
We need that. We need to tell the story. We need to shine the light.
Ourselves.
Yeah, and we got to do it. We can't
Hmm.
let it be done for us. So definitely support my brother Maxwell. Um, but this was a moment that he captured, and it's
Of
it's
course.
it's in the documentary as well, which I couldn't. I was really blown away to see it. Like I was in it, but to see it and reflect, to this day, whenever I watch it, I cry. Um,
Oh.
so if you haven't seen it yet, when you watch it, like just get ready. But this was at the time when Dave McAtee was gunned down,
Oh.
and
Oh, that's such a horrible
um,
time.
I mean, it's still really painful to reflect on.
Hmm.
Um, but there was something so powerful that happened that day while he was still laying there. And a lot of us, we know the justice that we were fighting for then we still need. We could go on and on about that. We know we still need it. That moment was something that I carried with me because we were standing in anguish and pain, crying out on one side of Broadway, and on the other side of Broadway was this line of law enforcement
Hmm.
holding their weapons, essentially in a posture that was saying, "We're here to hurt you. We're not here for you." And there was just a clash that was like it was inevitable. The way the tension was rising, and I see this. And I know a lot of the majors. I've worked in the mayor's office. I've worked in Metro Council. I've state legislature and all these things. And so I'm like, what are y'all doing? We're crying. We're hurt. Why are you in this posture as if you want to attack us when we're out here for our brother,
Just
for
waiting.
for our cousin, for our uncle? And so I walked across the street because to me, in that moment, if somebody didn't try to do something to get the officers to essentially to stand down,
Hmm.
that like
Well,
something was it
eventually,
was
yeah.
it was gonna go bad. It was, and
It was like they were waiting for that moment.
yeah,
Like,
and
come on now. Just,
mm, we got to unpack that in another
yeah, I
interview.
know. I just,
Um, but I called the mayor, I spoke to the chief and the majors there, and got them to put their weapons down.
mm,
And going back across the
so
street
they
to
were
tell
hit.
everybody, like, yeah, and it was captured. Like I said, my brother caught a lot of it. And when they put their weapons down and people noticed, everybody got quiet. And Miss Matheson started singing Amazing Grace. And it was just one of those moments where I think everybody realized that we're a part of something bigger. Like
Mm.
what we're fighting for is so important, but it's important because it's bigger than us. And like I said, I will always carry that moment because me going over there, like they could have easily saw me as a threat. And it could have went another direction. I mean, I got here with tear gas too. I know Maxwell. I know you saw a lot of that. I mean, and there are people who, the anniversary of, and we all think about Brianna all the time, and all the Brianna. Um, and I think we just have to remember why we stood up and what we're fighting for, and to keep going.
What are some important topics you think we as a people should stay up to date on?
Um, well, we should,
Your average, but like me, I'm just your
yeah.
average. I'm a talker. Okay, I go find people with resources, and we let you all know.
I
I
could I could go in a lot of different directions with that. So I'll go in two directions. One is like in the now.
mhm.
Um, everyone needs to be doing their part to pay attention to what's happening.
Right, right. And it's so
It's
much, so it's
it's
hard to pick
overwhelming.
what we need
It's
to.
it's chaotic on purpose.
Uh huh. Yeah, for sure.
But we all need to make a concerted effort to pay attention not necessarily take in the sense of overwhelm. That's human. I mean, it's okay to feel overwhelmed.
Right.
I feel that, but to understand what's being done to our education system, which is was already not meeting our needs, but there's efforts now to intentionally hurt us more, to take away our health benefits, to demonize humanity and to weaponize our identities as a way to essentially give more tax breaks to big corporations and the wealthy few. All of this is happening in front of our faces, and their hope is that we'll just be too jaded,
Stay on
too
social
broken,
media and just
yeah,
and just
and
be continue to be distracted.
yeah, and just throw our hands up.
Yeah, and it's
Um,
just too much. Ugh,
so I tell people, find the issue that you care about.
until it affects you directly.
Yeah, yeah,
That's when
and the thing is, for so many of us, we've been struggling for so long. A lot of
we
us
just
are
kind of
like,
used to it. It ain't nothing.
yeah,
We've been through worse times than
I
this.
I promise you,
You got to leave that attitude
there are
alone.
levels, there are levels, and although we have seen a lot of hard times, the fact that workers at GE, a lot of people are potentially being deported. Folks who are here that have been here legally, no human being is illegal, but people who have their cars that are here legally are still being sent away and deported. Um, the attacks
How's
on
that
our ability to
happening if they're
protest.
here? How's that happening?
Well, the checks and balances are not checking and balancing.
Oh, long story short.
And if we have someone in the office of the
Mm.
presidency
Oh, so sad.
who is going to break the law, and the other measures, the other branches are not going to check that. Now, the courts have stopped some things,
Yeah.
but as far as the legislative branch, they've largely just laid down.
Hmm.
And to see that at the national level, this is why democracy is so fragile. It's not guaranteed, and we haven't fully gotten it right. I mean, we still disenfranchised in a lot of ways. But the idea of it, the fact that we could even lose the progress we've had and that we're losing it,
Mm.
my granddad had to guess number of beans in a jar to vote. And legislation just passed.
Really?
Yeah, and there's legislation that just passed to require, women to have a passport in order to vote. Let's say if you're married and your last name has changed, if it doesn't match your birth certificate, that now that could be a barrier to you voting. A lot of stuff is happening now, so we got to pay attention.
All right.
That's big. We can
Okay.
talk more about that.
But as
One,
long as you're giving us a few topics, so
yeah,
okay, these
and
are.
one other thing that I would encourage people to pay attention to is building community, finding ways to connect with others around the issues that we care about. That
Mm.
is the solution. It will always be the solution. It doesn't feel that way, but it's fundamental. That's how we take power. It's how we change things as community. And when people are saying, "What do we do now?" We got to do what we've always known to do. We got to build community and build our collective power. And then, of course, I always tell people we need to focus on about ending poverty. You hardly ever hear people talk about poverty as something that can end. It can. It is a policy decision, and we can end it.
Mm.
So again, bring me back
They gonna
so we
hate
can
that.
talk
Look,
more on
they
that.
gonna hate that.
Well,
Ah.
well, they may not like me then, because I'm gonna be a part of ending poverty. I'm gonna do
Yeah,
everything I
cause
can.
you've been homeless before.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
When was this?
yeah. Well, when I was younger, our house on 35th, we had a big fire, and
Hmm.
and we didn't have a place to stay. Lost the. I mean, it took a long time for that home to get built back, and we slept on grandma's floor with all of my other cousins, or stayed with other folks, and
Hmm.
just not having any clothes, people giving me things to wear, and just feeling insecure because I knew I didn't really have a place no more. I didn't have a bed no more.
Hmm.
My clothes was too big because I'm wearing my big cousin's clothes, things like that. It it gives me a lens now about on how a lot of our young people, but just a lot of people across the city that are dealing with homelessness now.
Hmm.
There
I was
are,
homeless most of through high school,
yeah,
actually.
and so many of our children are going to school and leaving and not having a place to call their own. And we can't ignore these types of issues and just act as if everything's okay. So
Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. And I know you gotta go. But I know you do talk a little bit about the war on drugs and these other states are profiting off of what we are being taken away from our families for. So, uh, So I guess that's something we need to pay attention to. But that's just legalizing cannabis.
Yeah,
Um, I just want to make sure that whatever we can do to keep us, bring us together, or keep us informed, we add some of that into the awards next month. So, because if we're all there,
yeah.
that's a good time to kind of get us together and talk about some of those things.
Yeah, and you had mentioned it earlier. Hood to the Holler is definitely a vehicle, a resource. We're actually starting our strategic planning to do a big relaunch, a reintroduction.
Okay.
Considering the climate that we're in, this work is needed now more than ever. Um, but the political trainings, helping to connect with other organizations, there are a lot of folks out there doing good work.
Mm,
And for any issue you care about, anyone watching, any issue you care about, I guarantee you there's a group out there
that's true.
that you could connect with and we could build power together. So you can go to hoodtotheholler.org, HOOD to the HOLLER, holler.org, and reach out to me and we'll do everything we can to connect you and build together.
And now you're also a director of faith-based community initiatives.
That's
Uh,
right, in the office of the governor. So I work in the governor's office now,
okay.
over faith-based and community initiatives, and essentially that's another way for me to take this organizing hat into government and essentially work with all of our cabinet secretaries, all the agency heads to ask, okay, for every program, every budgetary allocation, how are we reaching the people who get ignored the most?
Mm.
And so working with grassroots organizations and faith leaders, people who are on the ground, the local mayors, if you will, the community, the neighborhood mayors,
Right.
um, it strengthens our ability to get information and resources out, but also creates a better pathway of accountability so that
Mm.
the administration can hear from folks on the ground. So reach out to me there as well. My email is my name, charles.booker@ky.gov. And my website is on the governor's webpage. Reach out to me there if you have any needs that I can work through the governor's office or out in the community. I'm gonna do all I can to help.
Mm. All right. Yes, you. And then if you also want to get into, someone wants to campaign or anything, you can help with that through Hood to the Hollow.
Yeah, yeah. We
Because people don't know where to start. They want to help, but they don't know where to start.
if you want to run for office, you want to work on a campaign, we work with other organizations to help provide those tools. So
And
hit
then
me up.
this is my last, and then I'm gonna let you go.
Okay.
So DEI,
Yeah.
Black businesses. Let's talk about how we can be effective right now, or what, because I feel like we're being attacked per usual, but specifically more right now. So
Hmm.
what can we be prepared for? What should we do to educate ourselves, I guess, or try to prevent? What can we do about
Yeah.
all the DEI? I mean, there's a lot.
It is a lot, and that deserves like its own show. One thing that I would immediately say is this is time, and we say it all the time. We know this, but we have to support our own businesses. And what we've
Mm,
seen with Target and these major corporations, where people are like, well, hold on. So you gonna get rid of diversity? That's
right.
what we doing? Fine. We not gonna shop. You're not gonna get our money. And what we've seen is more community again, building community where we can know who to go to get those resources, those supplies, those things that we need that we would typically go to these big boxes for. But there's a lot of black businesses that cover the gambit. If you name a product that you need, there's somebody that is in community
Yep.
that is working to meet that need. We have some incredible black businesses here in Louisville and Kentucky, which is again why the Boba Wars is so important to help people know that. I was a part of Louisville Independent Business Alliance,
Mm,
and we have a lot of great local business. Shop local, invest in black business, support black business. That's really critical now because the attack on DEI, they're weaponizing race, but it's really towards a bigger scheme to further inequity for everyone
mm,
because DEI measures largely benefit white women, and they know
mm.
that. So we have to be aware of what's happening now. We have billionaires in position of power that said they want to get rid of waste, and that waste was us.
Yeah.
Waste is they when they say waste, they talking about regular people.
Mm.
So we got to know that, and we got to build our power up.
Is there anything else we should know before you go? Anything else? Anything else us, the people, should know to do before you go? I feel like this is the third time I've asked, so I just
Um,
want to make sure that we.
make sure you register to vote. Um, I know
When's
that.
the next time we vote?
Well, we got some elections coming up in the 26th cycle. This upcoming year, there are some big races here,
Okay.
some critical local races here. The national races are going to be developing. We're seeing people jump out to run now. You might see some other people jump out to run. So get ready for the 26th cycle.
I
Um,
think I'm gonna go ahead and run. I'm kidding.
hey,
No, y'all know I
you'd
got
have
too
my
much
vote.
going on.
Look, we
Y'all know I can't even handle.
I feel you. I do.
I need
I
help,
promise you.
y'all.
I don't blame you if you don't want to be on the ballot. It is crazy. It's as crazy as you think it is. But it's the greatest privilege. Short of being a dad, it's the greatest privilege I've ever had. So
Oh yeah, I mean
yeah,
you really get to make that change. So
yeah,
okay, all right. Well, we got the help. If you want to do anything, make any type of change. I mean, this is who I would reach out to and see where to start. So
yeah.
all right. Was there anything you want to say before we go?
Thank you. I'm proud of you.
No.
I love y'all. I know these are tough times, but let's lean on each other and keep lifting each other up and keep fighting a good fight.
Whew. All right, y'all. I'm gonna see y'all May the 24th.
It's on.
The
Yes.
24th. And make sure you go to bobawards.com and theundergroundnews.com and subscribe. It's free. We have almost 7,000 subscribers online. And it's free. So get that positive black news. And I'll see you next time on Saturdays with Mikesha. Bye.
Through every note, every performance, the arts connect us. The arts connect us through joy and through awe, bridging cultures and generations. From intimate theaters to the grandest stages, the arts bring us together, reminding us that we're never truly alone. When we experience the arts, we experience each other. Kentucky Performing Arts. The arts connect us.
If you do nothing else,
If you do nothing else.
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 Stay live.